Hey there. Happy holidays. I know you probably are seeing me and you're like, "What the heck?" This is how I roll for Christmas. I love the holiday. As a mother of a 17-month-old, I think it's really important to be festive and excitable. Just even if he doesn't remember, I would like to hope he'll remember these times, but we'll see. But nonetheless, I'm just excited to be here. Happy December. I cannot believe 2022 is coming to a close sooner than we can even imagine. But the good thing about that is we're going to go into 2023 and we're going to have some blessings and we're going to have just beautiful opportunities to succeed. And that's really kind of why I chose this book for this month's book club, because it is by Jenny McCarthy. Can you see? There you go. Okay. Stirring the Pot. It is hilarious, as she is hilarious. As you can see, this is a sold library book. I love the library. If you didn't know, they also sell books, like books that they just kind of put out. And so this was one of the finds that I found, and I said, oh, this is going to be a Dresser Roommate book club. So with that, let's kind of get into my deck. I did another presentation in Canva. If you aren't already aware of what Canva is, I don't know what rock you've been under, but get out of it immediately. Good God. It is fantastic. Do you see this magnificence? Ugh. And as a Black woman, I love to find beautiful Black art. So I sprinkled that throughout the presentation. I hope you enjoy that as well. My name's Natasha Nurse. If you don't already know who I am, again, what rock are you under? Kidding. Uh, Maybe a billion people know me. No, I'm kidding. But nonetheless, super excited to come on here again. We're going to talk about a book for this month, Jenny McCarthy, Stirring the Pot. My recipe for getting what you want out of life. Super, super meaningful. So let's get into what the agenda will be for today. Before we do that, though, there is a quote that I thought we should talk about really quickly. So it's by Neil Gaiman. I think that's how you say his name. A book is a dream that you hold in your hand. So I love reading. I've loved reading since I was 6 years old. I was a person. So people think I'm an extrovert just because I have big personality and a big voice. But I would actually define myself as like an introvert extrovert, where in society I definitely present as an extrovert, but my like personality is very much more an introvert of like, I love to be under the covers with a book. If I'm not working on my health, then something yummy to eat. But currently, the only thing yummy next to me is usually a gallon-sized water bottle. But that's okay. It's yummy for the soul, so I'll take it. And I literally, like, if you could do a tour of my home, you would be like, Natasha, you have crazy amount of books. Yeah, I have crazy amount of books. My father he taught me the value of education along with my mother. Both of them are educators. And I love to read. I don't always have time for a lot of different things. I have a very busy, hectic life, but what I can do is I can read. I can grow my mind. I can go into an adventure. I can, feel like I have a good friend in a good book. And so I just love to read. And I encourage you, as you think about kind of what you are setting your intentions for 2023, to think about the power of books, whether they be audiobooks, graphic novels, magazines, and just the power of reading, the power of growing and learning should never end. And that's just like my plea to you there for that. So if you're not already convinced, now we can talk about today's agenda. So we're going to do, obviously, like a get to know me session. I think before, when I've been doing these book clubs for a couple of years now. And so typically I get on and I talk about myself and all my accomplishments, which I am very proud of. And if you ever like, well, what do you do? And like, happy to always discuss that. But what I've been really having fun just personally doing is asking myself questions, and then getting the audience, you to also ask yourself those questions. And I really enjoy when people put in the comments their answers. So please, I encourage you to do that for this month and every month thereafter. And then we'll do a quick book summary, and then we'll do some kind of discussion points, and then next steps. So if that's not too much, let's get into it. So first question is, let's get to know each other. So what's that? Okay. With first, what's the secret to your success? All right. So first and foremost, yes, you are successful. I know that can be hard. I know that sometimes contextually is presented differently in society, but it's really important that you know that you're successful. I was just talking to one of my absolute favorite person in the world about this recently. And it's important. It's important to think about success for you on your terms and how you define it. I've also done a podcast episode about success with Habe. Shout out to Khalil, who's currently chasing after our wild and brilliant child. And success to me is, again, an individualistic formula that comprises of mental, physical, spiritual health and well-being, and financial lifestyle choices, as well as creating generational wealth. And then it would also include constant ongoing pursuit of passions like reading, like taking care of yourself, like dancing, like art, like, you know, anything that you would define as fun, as interesting. But I would also say the end part of the success formula would be that giving yourself grace and opportunity to grow and to evolve each and every month, each and every quarter, each and every year. Because I don't think success is stagnant. I think it is ongoing, and I think it morphs a little bit. So for success for a 2-year-old might be, and I'm not there yet, so, you know, this might be wildly inappropriate to say, but like potty training, right? I'm hoping. I don't think that's, I don't know if that's possible at 2, but we'll see with our son. But, you know, that's a form of success. But by the time you're 22, I don't know if you consider going to the bathroom on your own successful. I guess it depends on kind of where you're at with your own kind of life and choices and all that stuff, right? But maybe at 22, success for you is having a job that pays a certain type of income level, or being in your own apartment, or owning a home, or owning your car. And then maybe at 52, it's okay, all my kids are out and I'm now a grandparent, and I travel 3 times a year, right? Like, so I think to think about success as a journey, not a destination. And then along the journey, it's constantly evolving, it's constantly changing. So for me, what's the secret to my success? Having the ability to check in with myself and be grounded. And when I'm not grounded, have the energy, have the grace, and have the willingness to change whatever I need to change. Because as long as I'm willing to always work on myself, I know that I'm willing to fit myself and in that ongoing journey of what success is going to look like for me. So I hope that answers that. What is one thing you do to help manage work-life balance? Woo! Is there such a thing? Yes, there is. I'm writing a book around it. We've done a podcast episode about it. Absolutely. My one thing would be, I think now would be, ooh, that's a hard one. One thing? Ooh. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say drink my water and mind my business, because I did a TikTok on that. But because, to be honest, I think most people are not hydrated enough. And I know that that's like a funny answer, but it's just totally true. And I want to encourage that people drink enough water, that people focus on what they're consuming mentally, physically, and then also spiritually, because the consumption of life is going to in turn create an output that is the reality of your life and lifestyle. So if you could do anything to create more balance in your life, yes, you could manage your time. Yes, you could get more sleep. But I think overall consumption, whether it's water, whether it's food, whether it's knowledge, whether it is content, the consumption that you have in your life is going to be the differentiator of whether or not you feel like you have work-life balance, right? And you're going to be able to consume content, be able to consume food, hydration, things like that, that will enable your body, your mind to be able to develop, implant that work-life balance in your life. And again, I think work-life balance is more of a journey, less of a destination situation, because you're gonna be in a state of constantly looking, does this work? Does this not work? What works when you don't have children? And if you do happen to go on that journey, God bless, when you do get kids, what does that look like for you? How challenging is that? And then also, when you get a new dog or when you get a new home, right? Like there's all these different types of things that happen in life that can totally change the narrative for you. So that's my one thing there. What surprised you the most about being a mother? Oh gosh. I never knew that when your baby cries, it like literally hurts to your soul. Like I cannot stand when my son cries. And not just because, so I grew up in a not very tolerant household. My dad was very strict and very like, be intentional, be productive, be focused, all that stuff. So there wasn't a lot of space for just like pointless noise. Uh, and kids, at least modern day kids, are all about noise. He will just scream the top of his lungs. He is louder than me, and he is not as big as me. So I'm not quite sure how that's physiologically possible. The mysteries of life there. But when he is upset, that's really hard. It's hard to hear because it's piercing. But also it just hurts. It just, you never want your child to be in pain. You never want your child to be discomforted. And we've definitely, as so many parents are going through this time of like, ear infections and this and that and all this different various health things, right? And there's no point to harp on what exactly is ailing this, that, right? Like this too shall pass. All children kind of get through it. Their immune systems have to grow, right? So definitely in that stage of parenting, especially when they're so little. But yeah, that's hard. That's really hard. And then also, I guess I knew I would always think about my son, but I would say that I like think about him like all day long, like probably every minute. Like it's like, and I have an obsessive personality. So when I love a person or I love a thing, like that thing just kind of penetrates my mind all day long. It's really hard for me to to stop thinking about something or someone, especially if it means a lot to me. So they're like kind of always just present. And so he's just like always present in my mind. It's just even when he's sleeping, I just like wake up like because he's in his own room, and I'm like, I want to know how he's doing. Is he breathing? Is he okay? Like it's just a lot. So those are the biggest things that surprise me about motherhood. And then lastly, how do you stay present in your daily life? Ooh. So I think this speaks to, and I think I put this question here because I wanted people to, again, as we're in the holiday season, if you are fortunate enough to be able to have like holiday break for yourself, it's going to be really important to take time, right? And to like turn the phone off or at least put the screen down. And it's hard because we're connecting with friends and family and there's a lot going on. And then you're also trying to document, right? It's for the gram and we got to do a TikTok. I just did mine, so I'm good for the day, or at least a couple hours. How do we stay present? So I think just making sure you're asking yourself that throughout the day, right? It's not just something, I'm just going to be present at 10 a.m. on Tuesday, right? Like, no, like, are you present at 10 a.m.? Are you present at 1 p.m.? Are you present at 4 p.m.? Oh, it's dinner time. Am I on my phone, or am I going to at least take some time, maybe even 15 minutes, just put it down, not look, whoever, whatever can be reached later, and just kind of checking in with self. And you can even, I believe there are even phone apps that will like turn your phone off and not allow you to be like feverishly. And it's hard. Like, listen, I've been on TikTok for hours and I'm like, how did all that time pass? It's quite entertaining. Quite entertaining. But we have to be present because the time we have, especially with our loved ones, is time you cannot take for granted. And it is also time that you will never get back. So that's the funny thing about life. It's here and then it's gone. And so you have to enjoy it. You have to be here now for it. And you have to be here to have memories, right? You can't just be here and then not be connected. So just another reminder. So how do I do it? Asking myself the question, and then also just like listening to my body. My body will typically, especially if I'm like working and husband is with baby and it's been a couple hours since I've seen him, I definitely hear him all day. He's loud as hell. What am I doing to make sure that, I don't go too many hours without popping in and making him laugh or scream or run away or run towards me? That's my favorite. And a good giggle. We have a good rhythm, me and him. So I hope these were interesting questions. I'm curious to see kind of any comments that we have. I'm here on Facebook. I'm here on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Twitter. So feel free, whether you do it now in the live or in the replay. All right. So book summary. It's funny as hell. It is her sharing her wisdom, her obsessions, her secret wish lists, embarrassing moments. You know, if you're a fan of Jenny McCarthy, then this book, like no other will make you happy. It will make you satisfied, and it will also make you think about your own journey for success, as well as your own journey for how you're orienting with yourself in life. So without further ado, let's jump in. She has a recipe for success. First of all, this graphic character is just everything. So like, pay attention to the details. Y'all, I put that in there for y'all. So her recipe for success, as stated on page 3, one girl with a dream, 0 financial resources, no time for bullshit, lots of time for therapy. That part. A heaping tablespoon of humor. Yes, life is funnier by the minute. Keep laughing. 2 cups of hard-headedness, many disappointing setbacks. A pinch of acceptance of my place in the world, a dollop of flexibility. Love this, right? Like, it's humorous, but it's also super real. And it encourages, when I read this, I said, oh, I have to share this with the group because A, what's your recipe, right? So a couple of my ingredients would definitely be a girl with a dream, a girl with hope, a girl with appreciation and gratitude, 0 financial resources. No, that's not true. I would say definitely bootstrap though, right? It's I'm not necessarily doing any of my different pathways or projects or ventures with backing. So definitely self-funded or household funded there. Definitely no time for bullshit. I'm a Virgo. Don't play with me. Play with somebody else. No. Now, I have not personally explored therapy. I'm definitely for it. But I would say for me, I guess my therapeutic kind of influences would be the calming people in my life, the calming content that I consume, and me taking the time to go to the gym, whether it's at 3 a.m. or 10 o'clock at night, or taking the time to use my foot massager that I got for myself, or my hand massager, right? Like, taking care of me to try to get me physically and, you know, mentally in a place where you can handle the highs and lows of life. Definitely, I don't have a tablespoon of humor. I have like a household filled with it. It's a freaking riot here. So I'm all about the laughter. I'm all about seeing the humor in everything, even when it's hard, because sometimes the hard things you have to laugh, or you have to appreciate the humor because you don't want to just cry. Right. Hard-headedness. Yeah. I mean, I'm a bit stubborn myself, but I would say more so just like determination, and definitely conviction and pushing through. You know, sometimes we have to push through past our feelings. We have to get past that. And I definitely was raised under that idea of like, you know, who cares, right? Like, is it done? Like, are you accomplishing something? And that's usually like my rhetoric in my mind. So definitely there. The setback situation, yeah, if you're lucky, you have tons of it because you learn every single time and you get the lesson, and that lesson is something you can apply in the future. So that's a blessing. You know, every setback is a blessing in disguise. It's really not in disguise. It's there for you to learn to apply so that you don't keep reliving the same circumstance. And acceptance in the place in the world. I think for me, it would be the acceptance of understanding that I am who I'm supposed to be. I cannot be anyone else but me. And that in and of itself is my superpower. That in and of itself is the beauty for which the world is graced by every time I show up for myself and for all the other girls that look like me, that come after me, that will do and surpass what I have done. And my hope is to continue to just be that role model of what success looked like for me, to allow people to dream that same dream and something bigger and beyond. So, and definitely dollop of flexibility. You better be bendable, flippable, stretchable, all of that, because life is all about the agile. You got to move and flex and oof, oh, okay, yes, all the way. That way you don't get stuck in a mindset or in a situation where you're like, I can't get out of it. Who says? You say. I say different. Now, this slide is everything for me. Do you see this fabulousness? Oh God, I love Canva. I can't, it's so wonderful. So TED yourself. Do you want to do a TED Talk? do you TEDx talk, any of that type of things? I've done public speaking technically, I guess, since I was a child, and it's been a wonderful journey. And I continue to do, public speaking oriented activities, and I will continue to hopefully do that to the day I die, because I love connecting with people. Again, introvert extrovert situation happening. I crave it, but then I'm also like, ooh, I can't wait to be in my bed. Ooh, Jesus. Her ingredients, as shared on page 139: at least one idea or mission, good, viable, harebrained or insane. Love that. 1 cup conviction, 1 cup clarity of vision, 3 fantasies. Okay. 1 stage, real or imagined. Absolutely. There's nothing stopping you from doing your own TED Talk. There's also nothing stopping you from doing a live stream. There's nothing stopping you from you sharing your story. I think that's, for me, like what I got the most out of this concept. And then just kind of wanted to bring it to the forefront here for you to think about that, for you to envision yourself sharing your story. The world needs to hear your story, because your story is unique and it cannot be replicated by someone else, because there is no one else but you, other than yourself, right? So you have to do you. And if you have a story to share, which you most likely do, this is your sign to go and share it. All right, next. Love this. 4 things every girl should have in her purse. So I am definitely a person who has a lot of different things in my bag, and let's go through her list. So she shares this page 185 to 186. So earbuds, individually wrapped hard candies, woohoo, chopsticks, fascinating, emergency feminine protection products. I hear that. So for me, are all 4 things in my bag? Absolutely not. Definitely here for the candies. If you know anything about me, you know I'm a sugar fiend. Like literally could be seduced with candy. Like it's terrible. But I seduce myself with it. Unfortunately, it's like, once you have Amazon, it's forget about it, So yeah, Amazon gives me my candies, and I have to work on because of it. Chopsticks, not so much. I feel that though. I feel like though, for me, I would want to replace that with like hot sauce, just because, don't you hate when you go out to eat and you're like, sometimes they don't have hot sauce? And I'm like, what do you mean you don't have hot sauce? Like, I'm like so deeply offended. Like the Jamaican in me is like, you must hot like fire. So that's what I need always. But do I carry hot sauce in my bag? No, I'm not as cool as Beyonce in that regard. But it's in my mind. I would totally do it. More so a book or like a Kindle and pens that you would definitely find in my bag. Earbuds, not so much. I don't like putting things in my ears. It makes me very uncomfortable. I feel like I have small ear canals, so I'm just like, no, I don't. Please stop. But headphones, yes, like big, massive DJ headphones. I'm all about that life for sure. And then emergency feminine protection products. I probably should carry more of that. I think I used to. Then I just was like, oh, my bag is so heavy. I don't want to. So what else would I have? My keys for sure. And then must have. Oh, I like to carry around little bottles of perfume. Sometimes, especially if you're working out or running around town and you're like, oh, okay. You got to sprinkle a little bit and smell yourself. Yes, okay, delicious. And so that would probably be a must-have as opposed to that. So curious to know what's in your purse, what's in your bag, specific 4 things that you absolutely have to have. So look at me rhyming. See, in the Christmas spirit, y'all, in the Christmas spirit. All right, we're here to talk about it. So January book club. What are we going to read? Who Stole My Sale? 37 Ways to Close the Deal. Interesting choice, right? Yes, it is, because so many people more now than ever are considering side hustles or ventures or whatever. But even within your day job, say you don't do something outside of your job. Do you want to be a better communicator? Do you want to learn how to persuade people to agree to your proposals, agree to your ideas, agree to your, intentions? Yeah, right? Like it's always helpful to learn how to close. People always be closing. Glendale, Gary, Ross, or whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Always be closing. The ABCs. So I saw this book. I believe, was this a library book? Maybe it was either a book that I saw at the library, or it was a book at, like, I'm big into going to thrift stores. So like Savers or Goodwill, shout out to both of those establishments. I think I got it from Goodwill. That's where I think I got this book. Yeah. So had to read it for the book club. We're going to start the year off with the intention of teaching ourselves the value of how to close the deal, how to be a better communicator, all of that good jazz. And this is by Todd Duncan. So if you're excited, what should you do? A, tap yourself on the back for making sure that you join today's book club. Thank you very much. End of the year. Hello. Of course, you can't end the year without having a little bit of Tasha time. So yes. But then also go to dressingroommates.com and check out all of my videos, all the blog posts, as well as RSVP for the January book club. All right. So on the homepage, you'll see the events that are listed when the January book club will be there. And with that, I just want to, let me just, I guess, share some thoughts. So 2022 was a year of challenge. It was a year of blessing. It was a year of success. It was a year of realization. It was a year of focus. It was a year of distraction. It was a year of challenge. It was a year of everything. I think it was a year that kind of had the full spectrum of emotion, but also the year of showing me, hey, Diamond on LinkedIn, and Christian, drink my water and mind my own business. Exactly. That is the takeaway. That is the life takeaway there. So thank you, sir. Oh, Christian, I adore you. And also, yeah, I mean, a takeaway for 2022, drink your water and mind your business, right? Like, absolutely. I think that makes the most sense. But also, just thank yourself for showing up for yourself, and for the times that you didn't really show up for yourself. Discover, get deep with it, understand, right? 2023 is an opportunity for you to not necessarily focus on the comparison of what happened this year versus what's going to happen next year, but more so, what do you want to happen for 2023? And what are you willing to do? And what are you going to do to make these dreams, these goals come to fruition? That's what I want to encourage you to do. And I just want to encourage you to always focus on what is going well. And then for opportunities for growth or challenge, to know that you can get through this. That is something that the people who love me tell me and help me realize that, because it's definitely been challenging, but also to recognize that these challenges come with lessons. So please try to understand the lessons so that you can put it into application. And, never forget about the fashion into 2023. Fashion is everything, darling. Everything. Former New Yorker, always about the clothes, always about the look. The presentation is everything. And have some fun. Let's have some fun in 2023. Let's have some good lessons. Let's have some great success. Please be safe, everyone. Please, 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 please be grateful as often as possible, and just love on yourself, love on the people that matter the most to you, because like I said, take nothing for granted ever, ever. And I will see you in the next live. And of course, on dressingroommates.com, you can get all my social media handles. So you can follow me along on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, everywhere. I'm TikTok, all the places. I'm everywhere. So please, please, please join me. All right. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. I'll see you soon. Bye.